wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in our newsrooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
Apple Max. Take it to the max.
If a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Mom, this boy is a handful.
As if you were any different.
Then what about a memory? And I'd say a lifetime of stories. Wash away the dirt and not the memories with Boom Bubble Plus washing powder.
Let the memories fade away.
Boom, and the dirt is gone. Introducing the Smart Kicker from iConnect, the most affordable smartphone on the market. With a follow focus capable 2-megapixel camera, you can't miss out on any of the action. Over 400 hours of standby battery time and 32 gig external memory. That's more than enough space for all your series, music, pics, apps and games. Get yours today from iConnect for a limited offer of only 499 kwacha, including 300 MB iSpot internet from iConnect. The Smart Kicker, available at iConnect. iConnect, make it happen.
The big day, everybody, and tonight we'll witness history in the making, y'all. Maki 2 all the way from Kukopala versus Slapdism and Nizzle. The moment you've all been waiting for. Maki 2 versus Slapdism.
Here's what you all been missing. Monster flows, fire flows, Munga mu kitchen. Flavor ikupa sokangiwa panga decision. Bigger than us, me and you and the mission.
Down Biggie Man International, you man got the air, better have to know. Nobody on the corner got swagger like us, but the other one is bigger than us.
This moment is bigger than us.
Iyatikulilako is bigger than us.
Both of us, me and you, is bigger than us. Bigger than us.
Monster Pops are not just big, they're monster big. Try out our Wacky Fusion, Magic Forest, Tongue Painter, and Black Forest. Monster Pops, the biggest pop in town.
Want to just get out of town with your friends and family? Are you having a corporate getaway and have no adequate transport? Then this here is what you need to listen to. A brand new 35-seater Yutong luxury bus is now up for hire at an affordable and negotiable rate. It comes fully equipped with aircon, TV for your relaxation, music soothing your trip, and DVD players to give you variety. Book now by calling 0955 0966 or 977 844 141.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Jungle.
Good evening, welcome to the Prime TV main news. To present it, my name is Marco Kozi. First, we take a look at the stories making the headlines. SCC cautions voters against selling their voters' cards. Millers Association of Zambia welcomes the setting up of mailing plants in all provinces. Zambian Voice calls for professionalism and transparency in the Mutembo Tribunal. And in international news, Al-Shabaab threatens more attacks in Kenya after Garissa. For this and other stories, join us after this short break. And now the main news in detail. The Anti-Corruption Commission, SCC, has cautioned voters against selling their voters' cards in the ongoing parliamentary by-elections. SCC Acting Senior Community Officer Trinity Habokoma says these are vices which the electorate should avoid at all costs. Mr. Habokoma says the SCC will not hesitate to arrest anyone found to be involved in such malpractices. He has further advised voters against receiving bribes from those contesting elections, as this is tantamount to corruption. Mr. Habokoma says this during a UNIP organized sensitization talk in Lusaka on Saturday afternoon.
Timankala na madandaulo yosiyana kuza zipupu zamene zichitika munkani yogulisa ma voters card kapena na national registration card. Ndaba nthawi ino ma voters card yamachita monga na mtengo kwenda pamwamba. Sinikamba kuti tikagulise ma voters card. Koma nikamba pamene vimachitika. Mtamvesesa. Ndiye one of the major problems. Ndiye problem number 1 amene tili nayo. Kapena amene timamenyana nayo sibabungwera anti-corruption. Number 2, kuli kupasa vantu vintu vina pamene sivifuniko opasiwa nthawi ya makampeni.
And speaking at the same event, UNIP Vice Secretary for Defense and Security, Alan Malao, said the party decided to organize the workshop due to lack of knowledge among the electorates. He said most voters are engaged in electoral malpractices because they lack necessary information on the amount to bribery, corruption, and otherwise. Mr. Malao has since called for stakeholder involvement in such issues if the fight against corruption is to be won.
It is always gratifying to see institutions
njokolwesa kwambiri kuona mabungwe
mandated to manage elections and corruption, joining hands with members of the community, the civil society, opposition political parties, and the media in fighting electoral malpractices, electoral violence, and voter apathy. The party has seen the need to build confidence aboard various sectors of society in Zambia's efforts to eradicate electoral malpractices, electoral violence, and voter apathy.
Government has expressed concern that up to now the much talked about health posts under construction are still at slab level. Health Minister Dr. Joseph Kasonde says it is sad that the projects are moving at a slow pace while the appetite for improved health services among Zambians is high. He partly blamed local contractors engaged to undertake the works up to slab level of lack of seriousness. The health minister has also attributed the lack of progress on the health posts to lack of coordination between the Road Development Agency (RDA) and the contractors, as observed by President Edgar Lungu's private secretary for projects and implementation, Lucky Mulusa. 3 years ago, government embarked on an ambitious project of constructing 650 health posts across the country.
The health posts consist of a foundation followed by an erected prefabricated structure. We are still at the foundation level, and all the foundation level has been given to local contractors, thus trying to strengthen our own people in the area of construction.
That's where the concern has been.
If we are looking for who, that's the who. If we are looking for the why, we need to ask them what their constraints are. And we are talking to them and helping everyone with his or her constraints.
The Millers Association of Zambia, MAZ, has urged government to ensure that it puts up proper management and trained personnel in place if plans to set up milling plants in all the 10 provinces of the country are to be successful. MAZ President Alan Sakala told Prime TV in an interview that government's plan to put up milling plants in all the provinces is a welcome move, as it will help reduce the price of milling meal. He says the move will also create an opportunity for millers to go into private-public partnership with government. Mr. Sakala, however, said serious management should be put in place. Mr. Sakala adds that for people in rural areas, a milling plant is not a necessity, as they are used to producing their own milling meal. Hence, trained personnel should be deployed in the plants to avoid losses.
This concept was tried before by the UNIP government, where all provincial centers had milling plants. As to what happened to those plants which were set up is a matter of history, because these are industrial plants which require trained manpower to operate the machines, also trained management to manage the plants. Otherwise, if those two things are not in place, the plants might become white elephants very, very quickly. In the immediate locations where the plants will be situated, there will be an impact on the price reductions. But what are the capacities of these plants? Are these locations able to take all the production? If they are not, they will eventually seek markets into the urban areas.
The roadworks, which had stalled for a long time in Tawama constituency, have resumed. The roads being constructed are under the PAVE Zambia 2000 road project launched by the late President Michael Sata 3 years ago. More in the following report.
Roadworks under the PAVE Zambia 2000, which had stalled in Chawama constituency, have resumed. A check in the area revealed that contractors engaged by government to work on the roadworks have moved back on site. In Misisi compound, for example, roadworks on Polepole Road are progressing well, as can be seen. But an official from the Road Development Agency, RDA, and Mr. Lanson, informed the Lusaka District Commissioner Captain Devson Mulenga, who inspected the roadworks, that there are a number of challenges in implementing the project, but could not review the said challenges in public.
80% of the works are just going. Yeah, we have challenges here.
So what are some of the challenges you are referring to?
There are so many challenges, but I'm not in a position to say anything because there are people who are supposed to who are in position to explain this.
Captain Mulenga, on the other hand, says he is overwhelmed with the roadworks, as this is what the PF government promised the Zambian people.
These are government projects, and we are very interested in seeing them through because of the expectations of our people. They are really huge. They want to see these works completed in a specified period of time, so that we can move forward and see what we can do next for our people. Now that you are not facing too many challenges, we are happy and looking forward to your completion of the roads.
And as for the residents, this is a welcome development, but called for speedy works on the project.
Bezo nkala manza kuti kaya uto tubwela so sponsor putukache manzeka yekaja so afa manje panika kuti drone chakaina itabe bwino ja basowenza chemushe tiamba kapena nala kwa bwanyi bwanje kuchedwa chabe ndiye fanya munga bachedwa ko chabe but otherwise them seven na chitu eve itoseka.
No, the project itself is very much important. But the problem is that it is moving on a very slow pace. If they can speed up the speed at which the government is
On the 18th of September 2013, President Michael Sata launched the 1.6 billion kwacha Pave Zambia Road project. Galan Muchima reporting for Prime TV News in Lusaka.
On that note, we break for some commercials, but still ahead in the news, the Private Sector Development Association commends government's intention to reduce the reliance on copper exports. This and many more stories. Join us after the break.
It starts with a single seed. Patience. Dedication. Attention to detail.
I'ma sip it up. Everybody sipping, I'ma sip my hell.
It's here. I'ma sip my hell. Eat well, drink well, feel good.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
What's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
At work, baby. You need
okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real, cause you look so free, so let's chill. Have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages. Fun. Style. Freshness. Great taste. It's here. It's fun. It looks cool. And it tastes great. Are you ready?
Shake, 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 shake and sip.
Introducing Shake and Sip, the new irresistibly smooth fruity milk.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. The Private Sector Development Association, PSDA, has commended government's intention to reduce the reliance on copper exports. PSDA Chairman Yusuf Dodia says it is important that government seriously considers developing other sectors in order to boost the country's economy. Mr. Dodia notes that it is dangerous for the country to fully depend on copper exports. He has urged government to consider diversifying to other sectors such as the agriculture and tourism, as the country has a lot of potential to grow tourism and agriculture in the country. Mr. Dodia said this in an interview with Prime TV News today.
And I think it's very important for us to diversify this economy away from copper. The challenge, though, is that to diversify away from copper, you need to have resources, financial, technical resources, to be able to exploit areas of agriculture, manufacturing, tourism, and maybe the services industry. And in order to really achieve this in a meaningful way, I think it's very important that the resources that are coming out of the copper mining industry should be the ones to finance the diversification program. What comes out of our agriculture business? The primary products such as maize, soybean, cotton, tobacco are not being processed enough to be able to say that whatever we produce, the processors will be able to pick it up from the producers and package it and process it so that it has a longer shelf life, it is able to add to our food security, and also that we can use it to export as an export product into the neighboring countries that need our food.
The warring factions within the former ruling party, the Movement for Multi-Party Democracy, MMD, are expected to meet with a view of ironing out their differences. The factions are those being led by former Republican President Rupiah Banda and the current leadership of Dr. Nevas Mumba. The meeting was initially set for Saturday, the 4th of April 2015 at the party's secretariat, but later postponed to a later date to be communicated. MMD Provincial Youth Vice Chairman Eddie Shangabe has disclosed that the development to Prime TV News in a telephone interview. Mr. Shangabe has disclosed that the meeting has been called as a result of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission set up by the MMD to ensure that harmony is restored in the former ruling party. He says all factions are ready to dialogue in finding the lasting solution to the problems that have besieged the MMD. The Opposition United Party for National Development, UPND, says government should have considered conducting an extensive audit into Zikta Towers before getting another loan for phase 2 valued at 65 million United States dollars. UPND Deputy Spokesperson Edwin Lifwekelo says it is sad that President Edgar Lungu, while in China, signed bilateral agreements with a Chinese firm despite ongoing investigations into the reported irregularities of the implementation of Phase 1. He says the nation is still keen to know how the Chinese firm Huawei Technologies constructed substandard communication towers in rural areas during Phase 1. President Edgar Lungu, while in China, awarded Huawei Technologies a project to construct more telecommunication towers in rural areas despite the ongoing probe.
I think that the president must be commended. You can say a lot about the president, whether you like him, whether you don't like him. Sometimes it's good to sober up and be able to call a spade and say that this is good, as long as government is able to implement that. And when something is bad and we think the government is being extravagant in terms of the way they are using that money, how they use it, we are monitoring. I think that the Zambians must be alert to evaluate and to be able to monitor whether this money, seriously speaking, will be able to deal with the issues of the challenges that we face, especially in addressing the issue of the kwacha, in addressing the issue of the drugs in the hospitals. I know that if you go to maternity today, a lot of our mothers are sleeping on the floor. I would want that issue to be addressed. If somebody can come and assist to ensure that we have enough bedding. If it's a trip that brings foreign direct investment, like the China trip, and it's able to bring solace in terms of the economic agenda to address most of the challenges, I have no problem. I think government must be commended for that, and President must be commended for that.
A political analyst, Dante Saunders, has expressed disappointment over the continued attacks on innocent citizens by suspected PF cadres. Mr. Saunders, who was nearly lynched by suspected PF cadres, says it is sad that he was almost attacked for having divergent views. He says his position as a political analyst is to help the opposition to give checks and balances to the ruling party. Mr. Saunders says he will not be silenced by violent cadres and vowed to remain the voice of the voiceless Zambians. Today, a mob of suspected PF cadres attacked Mr. Saunders at Makenimo for criticizing government and its policies. And attempts to get a comment from PF Media Director Brian Hampunda failed at press time.
I had a few PF cadres who came to me and, Dante, you used to be with us before, now you are talking a lot of things against us and so on and so on. And these are completely new people. I've never ever in my life seen these people with PF. The time when I was helping Sata to get into office, there was a new group of people altogether, a whole group of people that I worked very, very closely with. And everybody knew at that stage, and none of these people from PF would ask me at that question to say, why are you attacking us today? I was very, very clear from the very beginning, as I am as today, as I'm speaking to you. I have supported opposition all my life, and I will continue. I do not want a job, and I explained that and expressed it to President Sata. I didn't want a job from PF. Now, for them to come to me today and say, you are attacking us, It's something that they already knew I was going to do, because I did say, the moment you go into office and you fail to deliver to the people of Zambia, you will hear from me.
The construction of 22 deep tanks at a total cost of over 2.5 million kwacha in the northwestern province by the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock is progressing well. Acting Provincial Veterinary Officer for Northwestern Province, Peter Banda, says the construction of the deep tanks is impressive and farmers in the province are excited with the development. More in the following report.
Animal disease control in livestock is cardinal. Government has continued to prioritize creating disease-free zones through infrastructure development in the livestock sector in the country. In Northwestern Province, government through the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock has embarked on infrastructure development. The construction of deep tanks and livestock service centers in the province is progressing well. The team from the province and the districts in the ministry are monitoring the construction of these facilities. The team has inspected all facilities. Acting Provincial Veterinary Officer Peter Banda is impressed with the progress so far.
In Northwestern Province, we are constructing and rehabilitating a total of 22 deep tanks. We have 16 new constructions and 6 rehabilitations across the province. The total cost of these works is it's more than 2.5 million kwacha. So far, 5 deep tanks have been completed.
Livestock farmers in the province are equally happy with the progress of deep tanks and the livestock service centers.
Turasagiri nankashi hansango yakutwinka iwishimo kudibishango mbukunu. Murangi shimi utwaringira kumukenga nankashi kuntulo kabagana nankashi kunsango yeyimuna kutunzengu kuyinkati ashiya shana kubura kwa none chum. Irangi chia twinki dehi turati kuwana nankashi muranga tunzengu tukutushaida tunyama tutuvuru kunu hama.
So kunyechi chichiwa chakufana ngana kuno. Anetu tunahaya machukuma kandele tuchimone ngahori. Kata tachira ngwe tukubana development eri na lito lilanga horika. Kawe chukumi na wenya hako pindu. Kuyutene makumbi cheka na kugeza cheka bigwao winasale kubya kutukafa kuchiyoyela.
The contractors engaged to construct some of the deep tanks in the province are on schedule to complete the works, though with concerns.
Looking at the works done so far, about 70 or 75% work has been done. And if things go well, I think it will just require a little time for us to hand over this to the government.
I think the projects have been nice and good, and it being for the first time in the district. But however, we take note that I think the mechanism in funding is extremely not very fair, because you're talking about contractors. Ever since we started these projects, we haven't received any funding towards this.
The district staff in the province were at hand to present the successes and challenges faced by each district during the implementation of government programs.
So the contractor has completed the deep tank. It has been done well, and we are happy about it.
These 3 are at 90% completion. But let me say, the one in Msekayemba is fully completed. We had a little bit of challenges with these projects. One is that they were not funded from the beginning. They were to use their own resources, which of course we are recommending as a government.
Once these facilities are completed, they will definitely help farmers overcome challenges of animal diseases faced in their various communities in the province. Clever Chituta, reporting in Kabompo District, Northwestern Province.
Zambian Voice Executive Director Chirufya Tayali says his organization is concerned with the way the Director for Public Prosecution, DPP, Mutembo Nchito, is being treated. Mr. Tayali says the tribunal that was set up by President Edgar Lungu to investigate Mr. Nchito is right, but cautioned that it must be handled professionally. He says the DPP is still a constitutional office holder and must be respected. Mr. Tayali says if the tribunal is not handled professionally, it may result into a scandal. President Edgar Lungu recently appointed a tribunal to investigate Mr. Nchito.
From the time the government started, probing or twisting Mutembo Nchito, we are not very happy with the way they have been handling things. We are not happy with the way they have been handling Mutembo Nchito, not as a person, but as a DPP. Remember, a DPP is a constitutional office which is supposed to be protected by the security of tenure. And when he's supposed to be investigated or he's supposed to be suspended, certain procedures must be followed. These procedures have not been followed. As you can remember, Mutembo Nchito was once arrested in Chongwe. He was later on dragged into the magistrate court. It's not that we are saying that he's above the law, but we are saying let's follow the law. And the law does not prescribe to treat a DPP in the manner that he has been treated. Let's talk about the tribunal now. They said, okay, fine, we have set up a tribunal. You don't set up a tribunal without terms of reference, because you have to say this is what you're going to investigate about this person.
We go on our second commercial break, but still ahead in the news, we have international and sports news. Don't go away.
What makes the new Yo-Yo Chipsy so unique? 100% natural ingredients. Nothing artificial. Just a pure experience of freshness. Potato chips. We know you'll love them.
Mom, can I help you to cook?
No. Remember what I always tell you? Wash your hands.
Okay. Dad, this is a germ-free zone. Go wash your hands.
Good personal hygiene is important at all times. That's why medical experts recommend Romeo Plus medicated soap. It eradicates over 97% of harmful germs. Healthy families use Romeo Plus medicated soap. Romeo Plus medicated soap. Love, care, protect.
Shake, 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 shake and sip. Shake, delicious and healthy for you and your family. Nutrition and energy. Your food is tasty, yeah.
Yonzuna yowama yotelela mushi ilina mafleva yosiyana yonseni yabwino anso ibasa mbambu kosataya ndawi yesa shake and see yokumwana banjana anzako unsipasako ambuye na makolo ako ilimbisa tu ikondwesa ana kosataya ndawi yesa shake and see.
Shake and sip when fresh meets fruity.
Welcome back. You are watching the main news on Prime TV. In international news, Al-Shabaab, the Somali armed group that carried out a deadly attack on a Kenyan university, killing 149 people on Thursday, has threatened to stage more attacks in the country. In a statement issued on Saturday, the group warned Kenyans that their cities will run red with blood. The statement read that no amount of precaution or safety measures will be able to guarantee the safety of Kenyans, thwart another attack or prevent another bloodbath from occurring. 4 Al-Shabaab fighters stormed the Garissa University College campus in what appeared to be an extensively planned out attack, which the group says was to avenge Kenya's involvement in Somalia. Iraqi Shia militia who helped recapture Tikrit from Islamic State are being pulled out of the city amid reports of violence and looting. The militia made up the vast majority of pro-government forces that retook the city over the past week. But people in Tikrit say the city's liberators have since stolen cars and ransacked government buildings. Tikrit was captured by Islamic State in June last year in what was an important strategic victory for the group. The city was ravaged by the fighting that followed and now sits largely empty. For this and other international stories, we monitored Al Jazeera.
Saudi Arabia and its allies have dropped weapons and aid to fighters battling the Houthis in Yemen for a second day. Riyadh says the rebels have been pushed back in the southern city of Aden, where there's been intense fighting. Al-Shabaab is threatening to stage more attacks in Kenya. That's according to a statement issued by the group. 148 people died when gunmen stormed Garissa University on Thursday. There's been a jubilant homecoming for Iran's negotiating team after a framework nuclear deal was struck with 6 world powers. But in the United States, the deal has had a more somber reception. Any agreement must now get past Congress. Hundreds of fishermen have been rescued from isolated islands in Indonesia where they've been living as slaves. They're part of a group of about 4,000 people trafficked from Myanmar and other countries. They've now been taken to the Indonesian city of Tual. Ahead of Myanmar's general election later this year, opposition leader Aung San Suu Kyi says she's considering boycotting the vote.
The playing field is not level, and the administration is engaging in acts which are discriminatory against the NLD. So we can't say that it's fair. So far, I don't think we can guarantee fair elections.
Sarah Brady, a prominent gun control activist and widow of former White House Press Secretary James Brady, has died. Brady pushed for stricter gun control laws after her husband was shot in the head during an attack on President Ronald Reagan in 1981. She was responsible for the legislation of background checks for handgun purchases. Brady was 73 and died of pneumonia. A group calling itself Reclaim Australia has held rallies protesting against minorities. It says they threaten Australia's cultural identity. It's demonstrating against Sharia law, halal certification and what it calls Islamic extremism. There have also been counter rallies by protesters who say Reclaim Australia is anti-Muslim.
In sports news, Power Dynamos on Saturday mounted a desperate rally to beat CF Momana, but it was not enough to save their interest in the 2015 CAF Confederations Cup. Power beat the Gabonese 3-0 to bow out 4-3 on aggregate on Saturday in the first round final leg match played at Arthur Davis Stadium in Kitwe. The result was way short of the 5-0 target they needed to overturn the 4-0 loss they suffered in the first leg on March 22nd in Libreville. The Power took a half-time lead through midfielder Kelvin Muranga before striker Alex Ngonga made it 2-0 in the 68th minute. Zambia defender Christopher Muntari scored the final goal with a tap-in from close range in the 88th minute, but sadly it was a huge ask to score 5 goals for Power Dynamos at the end of the day. On that sporting note, we come to the end of the main news on Prime TV, but before we go, another look at the stories that made the headlines. ACC cautions voters against selling their voters' cards. Millers Association of Zambia welcomes the setting up of meeting plants in all provinces. Zambian Voice calls for professionalism and transparency in the Mutembo Tribunal. And in international news, Al-Shabaab threatens more attacks in Kenya after Garissa. That's it. That's all we had for the news. Don't forget to join us for another bulletin. On behalf of the entire news team, my name is Marco Kokozi. Bye-bye.
If a picture is worth 1,000 words.
Ah, Mom, this boy is a handful.
As if you were any different. Then what about a memory? I'd say a lifetime of stories. Wash away the dirt and not the memories with Boom Bubble Plus washing powder.
Let the memories fade away.
Boom, and the dirt is gone. The big day, everybody, and tonight we'll witness history in the making, y'all. Maki 2 all the way from Kukopala versus Slapdism and Nizzle.
Here's what you all been missing. Monster flows, fire flows, Mungamu kitchen. Flavor ikupa sokangiwa panga decision. Bigger than us, me and you and the mission.
Down Biggie Man International, you man got yeah, but they have to know. Nobody on the corner got swagger like us, but yeah, the one is bigger than us.
This moment is bigger than us.
Yeah, Tikurilako is bigger than us.
Both of us, me and you, is bigger than us. Bigger than us.
Monster Pops are not just big, they're monster big. Try out our Wacky Fusion, Magic Forest, Tongue Painter, and Black Forest. Monster Pops, the biggest pop in town.
You see, I have never fought with a lion. I have never hunted through the forest in pursuit of food, but I do have the fighting spirit. Because for decades, my people fought for freedom, and in 1964, we won. I love to do the Fwemba, the Kalela, the Kwasa Kwasa. I wear Chitenge, so does my girlfriend. I eat crisps, not crisps. I love Nsima, Kapenta, Chihuahua, Delele. I'm Josh, and I'm proud to be Zambian.
iConnect, celebrating 50 years of Zambia's independence. Hashtag #OnlyFazed. iConnect, make it happen.
It starts with a single seed. Patience. Dedication. Attention to detail.
I'ma sip it up. Everybody sipping, I'ma sip my hell.
It's here. I'ma sip my hell. Eat well, drink well, feel good.
Hey girl, what's your name? Let me talk to you for just a minute. Where you live and what you like to do?
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
Okay, I'm just trying to get with someone real cause you look so free. So let's chill, have a drink with a guy like me.
Apple Max, baby. You need to give me Apple Max, baby.
A quality product from Californian Beverages.
Potato sticks, freaky fries. Get that awesome crunch. Fun. Style. Freshness. Great taste. It's here. It's fun. It looks cool. And it tastes great. Are you ready?
Shake, 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 shake and sip.
Introducing Shake and Sip, the new irresistibly smooth fruity milk.
Would you wear all your favorite hats at the same time? Well, we wouldn't either. That is why we suggest you use only what you need. Switch off all electrical appliances and lights in unused rooms. Remember, use only what you need and save power today. Switch and save. Zesco, powering the nation.
Would you like to be a TV presenter? If yes, then this